what? How to earn. Everybody say earn. Now, it's not as hard as you think. All you got to do is got to change the way you walk. You got to change the way you talk. You got to change the way you think. You got to change the way you act. That's how you change your life. I retired when I was 22 years old because I did those 5 things. I'm 51 now. So for 30 years, I've been traveling the world showing people, young and old, how to earn income in a variety of different ways. But it began with those 5 steps. Let me get into the first, the definition of income. It's not hard. The definition is in the name itself. What's the opposite of out? In. What's the opposite of go? You don't want your outgo to supersede your income. Okay, young people, y'all with me on these? Y'all with me on these simple terms, right? This is pretty simple. The opposite of in is what? Out. The opposite of go is what? Well, in this case, I'm either going to go or I'm going to what? I'm going to come. So the opposite of outgo is income. Think about this for a second. If your outgo supersedes your income, then your upkeep is your downfall. If your outgo supersedes your income, then your upkeep is your downfall. This means we simply have to have more coming in than we have going what? So the definition of income is simple. Every dollar that comes in, and I'm not going to get too much into how to multiply your money, but every dollar that comes in is income. Now your job is to give that dollar an assignment and make sure that when it goes back out, some of it comes back to who? All you got to do is learn how to create a boomerang. All my young people, y'all ever seen a boomerang? You throw it and it comes what? Okay, so you want your income to eventually come back to you or members of your community. Now, how do we do that? Let me show you. It's not as hard as you think. So we talked about the definition. Let me tell you where money comes from. Money has one source. How many? One source. This is not a difficult topic, ladies and gentlemen. Money has one source. You know what it is? Write this down. Other people. Money has one source. Other people. In order to start the income process, you have to have something that other people want. This is not difficult. If you have something that other people want, those other people will pay you for that information. Those other people will pay you for that skill set. Those other people will pay you for that knowledge base. Those other people will pay you for that work ethic. Your job, in order to get income, is typically to solve somebody else's problem. People will pay you to solve their what? Problem. Every dollar you give out, believe it or not, it may not feel like it, but somebody just helped you solve your problem. If I buy Now and Later for 25 cents, somebody solved my sweet tooth. When I go to the doctor, if I pay him, I'm paying him to solve my what? Problem. If I got a flat tire, I go up here to NTB. I go to a tire shop. Somebody puts it on. I pay somebody to solve my what? The money came from you and went to another what? How many times will money come into you? Money can't come into you if you don't have a skill set, a knowledge base, an asset, or a work ethic, or something that other people are willing to pay you what? For. Okay, a QS Infinity. Park, maybe illegally parked, a QS Infinity that's about to be told we need to grab it. Yeah, grab it. Yeah. See, we about to make sure somebody don't get that money. We about to solve that problem. Somebody get paid right now to clear this parking lot. So if you have a service or something that people want or need, people will what? Pay you. So young people, money comes from who? Other people. So the name of the game, when Mike put that pie up, what he was saying was one or 10% of the population controls 90% of the wealth. That means somewhere 10% of the people figured out how to get 90% of the people to get them all the money. So what I love about being here, and the reason I'm so grateful that Hank Stewart, I appreciate you, man, and all you individuals here with the 360 Abundance, and I appreciate this partnership, is because what we're going to do is give you the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, work ethic, and everything you need to broaden that pie and bring more of that money back to you and your family. Let's talk about it. 6 steps. Write this down. Number 1. On your phone? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Y'all got these phones now. Number 1, 6 steps to earning or making that money come back to you. Number 1, you got to get some income. Number 2 is capital. Mom, Dad, listen to this. Until the income you get from other people, whether it be investments, whether it be a job, whether it be a business, someone put something somewhere in an investment, whether it be real estate, whether it be stocks, whether it be other asset classes, someone put money somewhere and it ended up back to you. But that income means nothing if you don't turn it into step 2, which is capital. Capital is the seed that the income is used to plant. Income is first, capital is what? Second. Until you take the income and turn it into some capital, that pie will never get bigger for our community. So new people, capital will be the seed that we plant. God creates the income. People give it to you, but your mind and your skill set, your knowledge base, will create the income. Innovation and imagination, believe it or not, creates the income. That's another training. But your confidence, your knowledge, your presence here today, you're creating income now because you're learning. That's the most valuable asset you can have is your knowledge. So once you get the seed, which is the capital, you then turn that capital into step 3, which is enterprise. Write that down. Enterprise. Income becomes capital. Capital is the seed. When you plant something and nurture it properly, that seed grows into a tree, am I right? Or a plant, am I right? Or a fruit, am I right? That's your enterprise. When you have an enterprise from a seed, you never know how much fruit is in a seed. There's millions and millions and millions of strawberries in a seed. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of stalks in a seed. Until you plant it and nurture it, it will never multiply. Let me ask you a question. If you plant a seed, it turns into an apple. That apple turns into an orchard. How soon do you cut the apple tree down? Never. Never. So that enterprise became step 4, profitable. Profits. Profits. Step 1, income. Income coming what? Money coming what? In. Money not going what? Out. If your outgo supersedes your income, then your upkeep creates your what? Downfall. Now you got some income. Take that income that comes from other who? People. You plant it, you water it, you nurture it. It then becomes enterprise. That's also known as like your business. Your enterprise then becomes profitable. Your profits, now you take those and invest them. That's step 5. So we took a seed. That seed became a tree. That tree will bear some fruit. That fruit you will then eat or it will decay. Look at how God set it up. Once it decays, it will go back into the same soil. That new soil will create new fruit, which will create new trees, which will create a new orchard. Now you're profitable. And that profitability creates investments, and those investments create freedom. Income, capital, enterprise. Enterprise becomes profits. Profits become investments. Investments become financial freedom. Today, due to Mr. Stewart, due to Mike and Monisha, you have the ability to get all 6 of these steps. I'm the lucky guy that's just getting it started. You got the ability to get all 6 of these steps in one Saturday morning. Am I right? Let me close with this. We got the definition of income. We know now we know where money comes from. Who? Other people. You got to solve a problem. You got to create get rid of somebody's pain and increase their pleasure. That usually solves a problem. You now know the pure definition. Your outgo cannot supersede your income, or your upkeep will be your downfall. We need to know that that money needs to circulate back to us, but it's a process. It's a process. You can get income from where? A job. Write this down. Here's some different sources. You'll hear a lot of speakers beat up a job. There's nothing wrong with a job if you put it in the right perspective. It's simply a root or source of some income so you can do those 6 steps I told you about earlier. Young people, there's nothing wrong with a job. Everybody write this down. I'm thankful but not satisfied. Nothing wrong with a job. Don't ever let somebody tell you that working is not honorable. Don't ever let somebody tell you that a job, you should be doing more. No, the income from your job is the seed money you need to do more. You can have a job. You can start a business. These are sources of income. You can start a business. Am I right? You can become part of a franchise. That's where you buy in to an existing business. If I invest in a McDonald's, do I have to learn how to create a new recipe, or do I just plug into the recipe they have and say, hey, y'all got to go to Arches, y'all a billion serve, I'm going to do what y'all tell me to do, and y'all pay me for being in partnership with you. That's called a franchise, am I right? So I can have a job to get my seed money, to start my capital. I can start a business, which is my own idea, or I can join an existing franchise that's already up and running and buy into that one, am I right? Or you can do what I did coming out of school, which was something called leverage or affiliate marketing. That's where instead of me having a McDonald's and $500,000, I had a little bit of money and I talked to a whole bunch of people, and you get paid a small percentage off tons of individuals and their efforts. There are a lot of ways to make money. This is America. What you got to do is figure out which one resonates with who? With you. Before I sit down, I'm going to give you 4 things, what I call 4 income drivers. This is for my adults. As you work with your children, when it comes to your finances, there's simply 4 things I want you to talk to them about. 4 drivers. 1, what are you most passionate about? Driver 1 is your passion. 2, which income stream is the most stable? We're looking for stability. 3, what income stream comes the easiest to you? What's the easiest? What am I passionate about? See, I can be passionate about singing, but it ain't going to pay me right away. A lot of y'all are going to be passionate about your gifts, but they're not going to pay you right away. What am I most passionate about? What income can come the quickest? The quickest form of income may be a job. Now, you may not be the most passionate about what you're doing, but that's what's going to keep the lights on until your passion develops. Which one is going to be the most stable? Well, see, I'm into real estate. Mr. Mike told you I have 5 or 6 different homes all around the country. I'm into real estate, but real estate is capital intensive, so I had to have some money come in to buy the real estate. Now I have acres of land that my son has inherited immediately, but that doesn't pay me right away. But it's the most what? Stable. I'm gone. Passionate, quickest or easiest. I'm sorry, passionate, quickest, easiest, and most what? Stable. Talk to your children about those and master at least 2 of them, and I promise you we can change this whole thing around with a 360 level of abundance. I'm Brian Bean. I'll see you guys in the magazines. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Mr. Stewart, thank you.
Let's give Mr. Brian Bean another hand. I was struggling to get my sister's name over there as Leonie. So Leonie was taking copious notes, and she didn't know one of the answers that Mr. Bean had stated. So she says to Mr. Stewart, what was number 4? And number 4 was invest. And I took my phone over there because I was taking notes too. And I handed my phone to Leonie and let her copy off my phone. Now, what kind of grade do you get in school if you let somebody copy off your paper? 0. But in real life, we collaborate. You're allowed to copy off each other's paper. That's a wealth principle. You need to grab that. Don't cheat off each other's paper in school, in class. But when you build your career, you can share information with other people. So once again, Mr. Brian Bean, thank you very much. Now, this next one is extraordinary, and I'm going to share a little bit with you about saving. So let's talk about the second pillar of wealth, which is saving. Now, quick question. When you get your check, what's the first thing you do? Adults, what do? Pay bills. You see how everybody said that like a choir? Everybody said pay bills, and that is exactly what you need to do to make sure that you broke. That's exactly how you need to do it. You say, well, I got to pay my bills. Well, you need to make sure that your bills are in line with your vision and not your paycheck in line with their vision. So the first thing you need to do is pay yourself first. This is the quintessential, most important skill that you young people can learn. When we were discussing how we would roll out our 360 Abundance Foundation curriculum, and we wanted to decide what year we wanted to start teaching people, I wanted to start in the 12th grade. And my wife said, the co-founder, you'll meet her in a little bit. She said, no, we need to start sooner. So we decided upon 9th grade, or first year of learning. And we may accept a little bit later years, but the key is that you need to learn these skills before you mess up. Adults, am I telling the truth? By the time you're 30, you've got too many bills, and now you're paying everybody else first. So we want to make sure that you kids are richer than your parents. Is that okay? All right, so you got to pay yourself first. Every time you get an allowance, if your parents give you $10, if you're fortunate enough to get an allowance, I didn't. Parents, how many of you got allowance when you were young? Man, 2 people. That's incredible. We got to fix this, right? We got to fix this. When you get your allowance, if they give you $10, that $1 goes into a box up in the closet in the corner where it's hard to get to, and it's yours to keep as long as possible. Pay yourself first. My father taught me something. Now, my father, he's a junk dealer. I was trying to think of a good word for it, but he's Sanford in Sanford & Sons. He's a junk dealer, and he finds old things, and he has a gift of repairing stuff. So he fixes a vacuum cleaner. He'll buy it for $1, take it to the flea market, and sell it for $10. A really nice vacuum. But he's a junk dealer. And he taught me one thing that sticks with me, and it's not even original. He said, a penny saved is a penny earned. Now, who said that first? I think it was, Ben Franklin, maybe? But saving a penny is the same as earning. So young people, maybe you don't have a job yet, but maybe on your birthday, everybody gives you money. And if I were you, elders in the room, who has actually said, if I knew then, look, they're getting happy. They're having church in here. If I knew then what I know now. Boy, that is a powerful, powerful statement. If I knew then what I know now. Well, young people, how would you like to be like Mr. Brian Bean and be able to retire at 22? Now, that doesn't mean you don't keep working. You might like your job, but now you're working with a different attitude. You're going to work to do them a favor instead of them doing you a favor. What age is retirement age? See how we parrot the things we've been taught? Retirement age is not 65. I just told you he retired at 22. Retirement is not an age, it's a dollar amount. When you can afford, when your income exceeds what's going out, when you can bring in more passive residual money than the bills you have to pay, you are in effect retired. So you don't have to wait to 65 and retire. I retired at 49. My wife retired at 53. Now we spend every waking moment together. It's good. I like her. Because retirement gives you options. So pay yourself first and make sure you're saving. Now, here's a good question. What's the opposite of saving? Spending. Now we know why we can't save, because we do too much spending. So control your spending. Avoid impulse buying. Now, here's a really, really good rule of thumb. When you go out and you see something you really like and you want to buy it tomorrow. How many of you have heard of the law of diminishing returns? It sort of means, on a street way, it sort of means if you go see this house and it's just beautiful, and the first time you walk in the house, you almost faint. Oh my goodness, look at the windows, the mirrors, the doors, the cabinets, the floors. Go back to that same house tomorrow and watch what happens. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice. Go back next week. I don't even know if I like this house. Look at this raggedy house. It's called the law of diminishing returns. Every time you see something, the more you're exposed to it, the less impressive it becomes to you. So avoid impulse buying. When you go to the mall and you see that dress or those slacks that you just gotta have. I think I made myself old when I said slacks. Do y'all know what slacks are? Is that a word still? What do y'all call? Y'all call them slacks? Sneakers. That's an old word too. Tennis shoes or sneakers. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, when you go to the store and you see something you just gotta have, get it tomorrow. Avoid impulse buying. The last one is the one I want to spend the rest of my time on, is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% are your needs. Things like housing, groceries, utilities, transportation, insurance. Those are the things you must have. Then the 30 are your wants. Now, opposite of savings is wants. The things you want steal from your savings. So the more you can reduce the things you want, the more you can save. And the more you can save, the more money you can take to redeploy, as Mr. Bain was teaching us, to make more money for your future. Every dollar you spend, young people, every dollar you spend is money you're stealing from your future. A dollar is a soldier. Its job is to go out and recruit more soldiers to work for you for the rest of your life. You can make money actively, which means you're working for it, or you can make money passively, which means your money is making money for you. Y'all saw that pie chart where one person, let me get 10 volunteers real quick to just stand up. Let me get 10 people to stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, of those 10 people, they're at a pizza party, and there are 10 slices of pizza. How many slices should each person get? 1. Okay, who is the richest person in this group standing? Who is it going to be? You, okay. Nicholas raised his hand first, that's good. Okay, Nicholas, you sit down, and we're going to give you 9 pieces of pizza. And the rest of you guys that are standing, you're going to share that one piece. Is that fair? Is that fair? Okay, y'all can be seated. No, that's not fair, but that's exactly what's happening to all of us in this room today. We're sharing one slice of pizza while one person, or 10% of the people in the country, are sharing 90%. That's ridiculous. And the way we're going to change it is 360 Abundance Foundation and knowledge. Is that all right? So, 50% do not get an apartment. Young people, work on your character and work on your behavior so that when you turn 19 or 20 and you're ready to get off on your own, you don't just move into an apartment by yourself. Move in with 4 or 5 of your buddies so you can share the rent and keep the money in your pocket. Don't be so quick to move out of mom and dad's house. Now, mom and dad, don't get mad at me for saying that, because you may be ready for them to leave at 18. I know at 18, Dad was breaking the bed down. But it's not that way in all cultures. Many times, they just keep expanding the house. Instead of putting you out, they keep you there and expand the house. And when you get married, they bring the spouse in. Y'all looked at me crazy when I said that, but. And then 20% is in savings, your emergency fund, your savings. I saw you shake your head at me. You don't want your kids there, but kids, do good. Take out the trash. Cook for your parents. So they'll want you to stay a little bit longer. Because when we pull together as a family, we become cohesive, we can build wealth generationally. All right, so 20% goes into your investments, your retirement, big goals. Young people, how many of you are already thinking about retiring? It's on your bingo card. You're already thinking about retiring. Good. I want you thinking about that. It's really hard to focus on retiring when you're 15 years old. But adults, how fast did it take to get to your age right now? How fast was it? It was a blink. And how old are you? 15. How quickly did that come? Very fast, like a blur, right? In one more blur, you're going to be 30. And in one more blur, you'll be 60, because life doesn't add, it exponentially multiplies. It goes real fast. So this is not too soon to be learning these techniques. Now, what I want to do is shift to my favorite pillar, and I probably shouldn't have a favorite because they're all equally important, but this one is my favorite because this is what allowed me to retire at age 49. I was working so hard all my life, and all of you young people are going to go and have amazing careers. And the key that we want you to take away today is, as you get that career, take that money and make that money work for you. So now you're working for you and your money's working for you. And this pillar is called growing money. Now, money is designed to grow. As Brian was talking about, planting that seed. And Hank was sitting over there. He said when an apple falls, it decays and it becomes compost. And that means it just makes the ground even richer so that it'll grow more fruit. So I'm going to bring up, actually, it's our family's personal money manager. This gentleman has a company called ACS, Austin Consulting Services, where they manage portfolios of high net worth individuals. You'll find out a common thread. Brian said it, I said it, he's going to say it. The wealthy make their money work for them. So would you do me a huge favor and put your hands together for the growth pillar, Mr. Alan Austin.
Good morning, everyone. Mike, you took me back when you were talking about, parents wanting to kick their kids out. I remember coming home at 16 years old and my father changing the locks on the door. He was ready for me to leave. How are you guys doing today? You guys good? All right, so look, before I actually get into my speaking topics, I'm going to ask a quick question, and I'm going to give you some foundational rules on how to answer this question. Foundational rule number 1, there are no wrong answers. Foundational rule number 2, don't give me the response you think I want to hear. Can you follow those rules? All right, so here's a simple question. If I were to give everyone in the room $1,000 today, what would you do with the money? Go. You'd spend it on some school supplies. Go. What would you do with $1,000 right now? Go. You'd save it. How about you? You would save some and spend some. What would you spend it on? All right, that's all right. No wrong answers, right? Go. That's very important. So he said he'd split it up. He'd save some for college, some for starting his business, and what else? And just to spend. Great. How about you? He said he'd get a new phone, so he's immediately spending. Go ahead. Save some, put some in the stock, and get a new phone. How about you, buddy? You would spend it on gaming stuff. All right, so there are no wrong answers, but I'm going to give you one foundational principle here about money, okay? There are only 3 things at a foundational level that you will ever do with money. Said differently, Brian talked about deploying your money, or your money having a job, or your money being a soldier. There are only 3 jobs that you will ever assign to money, and I'm being deliberate about what I'm saying and how I'm saying that. Job number 1, you will spend it. Job number 2, you will save it. Or job number 3, you will deploy it to grow or invest. All right? Job number one is what? Spending. Job number two? Job number three? That's the only thing you will ever decide to do with money. All right? Now, the first topic that I'm going to talk to you about today is the difference between saving and investing. I won't focus too much on spending because it seems like most of us come out of the womb ready to spend money. But there is a difference between saving and investing, okay? They're both equally important. Spending is also equally important, but you need to understand the difference between saving and investing. Saving, you usually are preparing for planned or unplanned expenses. Saving, you are preparing for planned or unplanned expenses. Saving for college, planned expense, right? Saving to buy a new car, planned expense. Saving in the event something breaks down in the house, that's an unplanned expense, an emergency fund. Got it? So saving is important, but growing your money is also important, okay? So if I put my money in the stock market, what am I doing? If I put my money in the savings account, what am I doing? All right, so that's a very simple concept. Saving and investing, both equally important. The next thing we've heard mentioned today is the fact that you're getting these concepts early, right? Time is on your side. Okay, time is on your side. Wealth doesn't get built overnight. Set aside the what I would call the anomalies of the kids that come out of college, 21, 22 years old, they're professional athletes, they're all of a sudden millionaires. That's not the norm, right? Most of us are spending time either building businesses when we're young or in a professional career where we're spending time at a company or we're growing with the company and building wealth over time. But the fact that you get to start early is a huge advantage. Mike, we talked about retirement age potentially being at 65. So let's assume that folks start a job or start investing or start a business and they're planning to retire at 65. If I'm saving $100 a month from the time I'm 15 to the time I'm 65, or if I'm saving $100 a month from the time I'm 30 to the time I'm 65, by the time I get 65, who's going to have more money? The person that's at 15, right? So you guys learning these concepts early is an advantage for you, okay? How many adults in the room had individuals like us coming to speak to them when they were 15 years old, 16 years old about money? Look around the room, guys. None of us, okay? How many adults in the room, because of a lack of financial education, have made some sort of erroneous decision with your money and it's cost you something? Look around the room. This is the importance of financial education. And hopefully your connection with the 360 Foundation can help you avoid some of those pitfalls. All right, so the power of compounding is a superpower in financial growth. There's one concept that I'm going to leave you with on this topic, and it's called the Rule of 72. Anybody have a calculator? Want to bring out a calculator? All right? So you've got a calculator. So essentially the Rule of 72 is a mathematical formula that helps you understand how quickly it will take you to double your money. So when you are growing your money, when you're putting your money to work, your goal is to double it as quickly as possible. All right? So I want you to go to Google and tell me, ask Google, what's the average savings account return in the U.S.? I think it's like 0.3 or 0.4% or something like that, right? Yeah. Go to Google and look up what's the average return, rate of return on the savings account in the United States. 0.3. Okay, now open your calculator and do 72 divided by 0.3. 240? So it would take you 240 years to double your money in a savings account. That's important to know when you're trying to put together a strategy for building wealth. Are you with me? All right, now go to Google and look at what the average rate of return is on the top mutual funds in the United States. Somebody call out that number when you find it. 4.5. Top mutual funds in the United States, 4.5. All right, so now take 72 divided by 4.5. What do you get? 16. See the difference? Takes you 16 years at 4.5% interest to double your money versus 240 some odd years savings account to double your money. Just that knowledge should inform you on things that you need to do to look for to help you grow your wealth. Are you with me? I happen to be fortunate enough to be part of an organization that helps its clients earn 20% a year. So now take 72 and divide that by 20. It should be something like 4, 5 years, 3.6, rounded up to 4. So now 240 some odd years in the savings account, 16 years in the stock market, 4 years in a wealth strategy. Are you with me? All right? So now, by show of hands, adults, if you had known when you were in your early 20s that you could put your money somewhere that would earn you 20% a year, would you do it? Would you be in a different place now? Would your children be better provided for? You understand why it's important for you guys to get this information now? All right? Great. Next one is become an owner. I'll keep this real simple. How many of you have an iPhone? Raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Great. iPhones cost what? $1,000? $1,500, $1,200 on average? Do you know if you'd taken the $1,500 5 years ago and instead of buying the iPhone, put that in Apple stock, you would have doubled your money? One person is a customer, the other person is an owner. You will only ever be one or the other. You are either a customer or an owner. How many of you have Jordans? Nike's a great company. All right, how much Jordans cost now? $500 for, good God, I'm old. $500 for Jordans? That is absolutely insane. Okay, all right, so do you know Nike has paid a dividend? Do you know what a dividend is? So when the company's actually giving you money for being a share owner. Do you know they've paid a dividend for 25 years straight? So that $500 could have paid you multiple times. That's the difference between being a customer and an owner. Are you with me? Right? So people that are building wealth, their focus is on being an owner. Now, obviously, you're going to be a customer throughout your entire life, right? Because you're going to be buying things that you don't produce or can't own. You're going to pay rent, you're going to buy food, right? But your strategy should be, how do I deploy my funds to be an owner? Are you with me? All right. Next one is consistency. This is real simple. Consistency is the key to everything in life. All right? If you're saving, this is where I don't know if you can calculate this, but you can look up on Google right now and say if you were saving $100 a day for 30 years, what would you get? Compounded. The number's in the trillions. It should be. Somebody tell me what that answer is. Saving $1 a day, compounded daily. Just $1 a day, compounded daily for 30 years. What's the number? You didn't know you were going to come here and do math, did you? Anybody? You can speak into your phones now, can't you? Siri, tell me what. What's the answer? Kai, Kayla, help me out. I'll do it. We'll do. Who got it over there? Mike, you got it? I'll do it on mine. If I were to save $1 a day, compounded daily, for 30 years, how much would I have? me do it. At 5% interest. That was my fault. That was my fault. I got excited. $1 a day compounded at 5% interest, you will have $25,452 just at $1 a day. Look, it hit him. He said, oh, $1 a day. How many of you go to the corner store and buy a soda? I remember when sodas used to be a quarter. Soda's $1 and change. So all I'm asking you to do is to save one soda a day. Doesn't that hit you different? One soda a day, you could be ready for retirement. All right, next concept. This one is understanding risk. This is really, really important. A lot of people tend to swing for the fences. What do I mean by say swinging for the fences when you're trying to build wealth? Have you ever heard of this thing called a get-rich-quick scheme? Adults, how many of you have been involved in some of these get-rich-quick schemes because you're trying to do the right thing, but you don't assess risk enough? All right? This is one of the things that you have to understand because you want to try to avoid them. There will be people coming at you from all corners trying to take advantage of you, and you need to be wide-eyed about those opportunities. Do the due diligence to make sure that you are investigating whether or not those things are legal, legitimate, and can actually do what they say. Does that make sense? All right. Uh-oh. I think I shut it off. And the last one is building wealth, not just the appearance of wealth. I'm going to give you, and I'll just close with this quick story. I have two brothers, but my middle brother, he is currently the manager for the Bill Gates Foundation. But when he was younger, he was probably about your age, 16 or 17, and I was already in the workforce. And my brother's kind of, he's a good-looking kid, flashy, has all, the finest clothes, and he literally has about 1,300 pairs of either LeBrons or Jordans. Think about that number, 1,300 pairs of LeBrons or Jordans. 1,300. I'm saying 1,300 pairs of sneakers. Each a minimum of about $200. And he comes down to Atlanta and visits me, flashy, blinged out, and, gold, this and that or the other. And he walks into my closet, and I have no clothes. I probably have 2 suits and 3 pair of shirts and, 4 pair of slacks, right? Slacks, 4 pair of slacks hanging in there. And he comes in there to make fun of me. And he goes, man, you don't have no clothes. You ain't got no shoes. You're not balling. You don't even look the part. And I said, yeah, but I got 10 houses. He turned around and walked out. There's a difference between being wealthy and looking wealthy. How many of you have a junk drawer in your house? Right? It looks good on the outside, but when you open it, stuff starts spilling out everywhere. Right? And unfortunately, that's how a lot of people treat their financial lives. You look good on the outside, and then when somebody opens the door, it all crumbles, right? And so we want to make sure that you are actually building wealth and not just looking the part. And while you are working to build your wealth, you need to think about how you protect it. And that's going to be our next speaker. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alan. Are we learning a few things today? Yeah, and we're just at a 30,000-foot overview. We're going to have these young people for 4 years and hopefully just bless you with scholarships and knowledge so that you can pass it on to the next generation. Now, I told you about my dad, and he taught me that a penny saved is a penny earned. He also taught me one other valuable lesson. He said, if you can't afford to lose it, insure it. And so we're going to talk about protecting your wealth. And all along the way, when you're earning money, saving money, growing money, at every juncture, you also need to be protecting what you save, what you grow, what you earn. And about 4 years ago, we got an opportunity to start working with this gentleman on insuring our family. And at the time that we did it, let me ask you all a question. What's a good age to like say, okay, we can pack it in, we've done good, and this is a good age to pass, to die, to pass on? What's a good age? Is there a good age? Well, how long do you think you're going to live? That's a better question. How long are you going to live? Throw me a number out. 80, 90, 100 years old? 100's pretty good, right? 96? That's a specific number. A long time, I like that number better. So a long time. But is anybody in here going to live forever? Right. Does anybody in here know exactly how long you're going to live? No. And so about 4 years ago or so, Manisha and I decided we'd go ahead and set up our family insurance policy, and we put insurance on everybody. And lo and behold, last year in June, my son started feeling a little twitch in his shoulder. Really good athlete. Started feeling a little twitch in his shoulder. We were out back shooting ball, and he couldn't shoot. He's like, Dad, something's going on with my arm. 10 months later, my son was gone. He passed May 8th of this year. Totally unexpected. We had no idea. Still to this day what happens. The autopsy is still pending. We still don't know what happened to him. He has 2 children, a 15-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. His name is Michael, like me. He's Michael also. We did not know what was going to happen. We didn't expect it, but guess what? We insured it. And I know that sounds a little morbid, but wealth is typically not built in one generation. And you don't want to really think about passing. And my wife instructs me not to really talk about that often, but it is a part of life, young people. And not one day is promised to you. So you want to consider putting in your long-term vision and plan, having insurance in the event that something were to happen, you have taken care of your heirs. And so his 15-year-old daughter, his 4-year-old son, they're well taken care of because his insurance is inside our family trust, and all through our curriculum we're going to be teaching you guys this stuff because we're all going to pass, and when we do, we want to pass some wealth to the next generation. And this next gentleman that I'm going to bring to you, he's going to talk to you about protecting wealth. This gentleman has been in the industry for 28 years in the insurance industry, property, casual, and life. And he owns his own insurance agency, the Derek Campbell Agency. So will you do me a huge favor, put your hands together for our 4th presenter, Mr. Derek Campbell.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you with everybody. Well, I'm glad to be here. I want to say a few things before I get to my PowerPoint as well. I want you to go to Google, because we all go to Google. Ask Google, how many car accidents does the average American have every year? Go to Google. I like the tie right here. How many car accidents does the average American have every year? What's that number? How many car accidents does the average American have every year? If you don't know, I'll tell you. The average American has about, every year, well, actually, over an 18-year span, they have 3 or 4 car accidents. The average American has a house fire every 96 seconds. Every 96 seconds, there's a house fire in America. And Michael talked about death. And I know we hate to hear that, but we're all going to die. But the question is, when that happens to you, what happens to your family? That's what happens. So we have to talk about this and have this conversation about that. So I'm in that business. I'm in the protection business. And Michael said something that he said his favorite was growth. Well, my favorite is protection. Because all these companies up here, the 360 Foundation, Hank Stewart, can be gone tomorrow. But what protects them is the insurance portion. That protects you. And Michael talked about parents. I had great parents. My dad was a steel worker. My mom was a crossing guard. They loved me every day. They taught me a lot of things, but they left me no money. So I had to start from scratch. Today, this is the most proud thing I am. I am a grandfather of 15 grandkids. I have 2 great-granddaughters. And every Sunday at 6 o'clock, I have my grandkids call. And I teach them the same thing you guys are learning right here today. So it's important that you understand this. So as I start from the top in terms of protecting your money, okay, I got to figure this out. Oh, wrong way. We're going to talk about insurance. What is insurance? It's nothing but the transferring of risks. That's all it does. So instead of me taking on this risk, because I may have a car accident, I'm going to transfer it to a carrier who has more money than me. That's all it is. And during that transfer, I do it by paying a premium. So I pay my monthly premium. So if I have a car accident that costs me $50,000, they pay the $50,000. So here I am, I'm paying $300 a month. Have the car accident, they pay the $50,000. That's what insurance does. That's all it does. And you may want to wonder, well, why I have to pay $300? That's my portion of it. Allen Risk Management, that's my portion of the insurance policy. So as long as I pay that $300, they will take care of the rest on the car side, as well as on the home side, as well as on the life insurance itself. So my part is premium, their part is to pay the claim. Next one. What insurance actually is a group of people agreeing to cover each other when something goes wrong. Now, nobody in this audience knows when something goes wrong. You don't know that. You don't know when something's going to go wrong. But it's important you understand this. It's going to go wrong. No one's exempt from that. Michael talked about his son. Well, my son passed away too. It was 2 years ago. He was only 45 years of age. I had no idea this was going to happen. No idea. So it's going to go wrong, but when it does go wrong, how does it affect you and the family? And we're talking about money here or financially. So what insurance does, because he bought that life insurance policy, I paid the premium, he paid the premium, so they paid the death benefit to me. Because unlike Michael, my son had 4 kids. 2 were in college when they died. So everybody knows the cost of college tuition. So now I had to be the grandfather and the father. And so thank God I had some money to make me do that. So that's what insurance does, and that's what it actually is. 4 things you will insure: your car, your stuff, your health, and your life. Now, of these young people here, who's got their own car yet? Anybody got a car? Got your car? What kind of car you got? Honda? What year? You paying insurance on it? Who pays it? Your dad, you think. Okay, I got that. That's a great answer. I get that. But I know buying a car is big for you guys, am I right? You all want your own car. But here's the thing about it. If you look up car accidents for teenagers, that rate is very high. So what your parents do, they insure it. So that if you do wreck the car, the insurance company will pay for it. That's how it works. So when you're insuring your car, it's important. In the state of Georgia, it's a mandated rule. You have to have it. You cannot drive without it. If you do drive without it, you know what happens to you? You go to jail, or they impound the car. So that's insuring the car. Let's talk about insuring your stuff. Now, most of you young people, they may not have a lot of stuff. You may have the Jordans, or you may have the slacks. I said slacks. You may have the slacks and things like that. But your parents have stuff. They have houses, they have cars, they may have jewelry. So to make sure, because we don't know when something's going to happen. You don't know. So what you do is that you transfer that risk over to the insurance carrier. That's all you do. And you pay your premium, and they insure your stuff. The next one is your health. Now, as you get older, I'm 69 years of age. As I got older, you know what's more important to me? My health. Now, I know you're older folks, I know you understand that. Your health becomes more important. That becomes your wealth. Now, when you're 15, you don't see that. I get that because you think you're going to live forever. I get that. But the important thing is this. As you get older, the biggest bill you're going to have, and Brian talked about it, Alan talked about, is health insurance. That's going to cost you a bundle. Long-term care insurance and health insurance. The question is this: how do you pay for it? Because if you don't do something about that early, once you get in those situations, it's going to cost you everything financially. I mean everything. And you're going to spend all your money taking care of your health and unable to take care of the other stuff in your life. So it's important you understand to transfer that risk of your health insurance to the carrier. If you have a job, normally you have health insurance on the job. Keep it. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to buy your own. But here's one thing that jobs don't give you. It's called long-term care insurance. That's part of the health process. Long-term care insurance is something we all did this morning. We didn't think about it, we just did it. We all got out of bed by ourselves, we transferred, we all used the restroom, we showered, shaved, whatever the case may be, we fed ourselves and clothed ourselves. When you can't do 2 of those 6 things, you need long-term care. So that's how you pay for it. Next one. Your life. Let's talk about protecting your life. Do you know the number one way, Alan talked about growing your money, Brian talked about the property, but you know the number one way to pass down generational wealth? It's life insurance. Where can you go where you spend $10 and you'll get $10,000 back? Where can you get that guaranteed? Where can you go where you buy a life insurance policy and when you pay out, it pays out tax-free? And African Americans in particular, can anybody tell me, I don't know how many is in this room, what percentage of African Americans have no life insurance? Have none at all. Anybody know? 30%? Higher. You're getting close. It's 70%. Have none. No life insurance. Because we talked about that immediate gratification. But that's the best way of leaving generational wealth. I bought life insurance policy on all my grandchildren, all my great-grandchildren. I made my family, you're going to buy it, I don't care, you're going to buy it. So life insurance is critical in that. Let's talk about the power of your income first. It's your biggest asset. We talked about that all day. But here's the thing about it. What happens when you can't earn the money no more? What happens when you can't go to work anymore? What do you do? What do you do when you can't make money anymore? Michael used a word that I know got over your head. He used the word of passive income. Do we know what passive income is? Now, most of us have earned income, and that income is the most taxed. Passive income is when Michael can lay in his bed and Alan's still paying the money. He don't have to go to work anymore. He's doing it. So it's important to earn passive income. But insurance can move that risk from Michael to the insurance carrier when he can't work. That's what insurance does in terms of that. Because you got to keep that income coming. And then this is the last point. You got to start early. You've got to start early. It's important. Do not wait till you get to your 21 or 27 or 29. There's a life insurance policy out there called an IUL, Index Universal Life, that again, all 15 of my grandchildren have this policy. They invest $100 a month in this policy, and Byron talked about it, Alan talked about it, compound interest, where it gives them a death benefit, but it also gives them income when they want it. And so it's important that you start your children early. Buy the life insurance policies when they're 4, when they're 5, when they're 12. Because the earlier you start it, the less you have to pay, the bigger the compound's going to be. So understand risk, keep it small, and hand off the big ones. Risk is nothing but moving it from you to the carrier. That's all it does. I'm moving it from myself to the carrier. And when you do that, because none of us know when something's going to happen. So thank you very much, everybody. Okay, Roy, come on up. With that being said, I want to introduce my friend. Roy and I are also colleagues and partners in the business together. But this young man is going to be part 2 in terms of protecting it through legacy. So everybody welcome Roy Turner.
Thank you. Thanks, Derek. There we go. Well, good afternoon or good morning. If you could, before I get started, I do want you to kind of repeat after me a couple of 5 key words or 5 free phrases. The first is my stuff, my ideas, my instructions, my choices, and my family. Those are going to be the areas of focus when we talk about what you protect. Right? So Derek just spoke about protecting really your stuff, right? The stuff that you own, the physical stuff, whether it's your shoes or whether it's your slacks. Michael, I still call them slacks as well. But that's the stuff that you own, right? And so ownership and title is critically important. Now, I'm a lawyer, And so when you encounter me, when you're part of the 360 Abundance Foundation, we're going to talk about protecting your stuff in the context of basically legal protection. So what can I put into place to ensure that I don't lose my ownership? Because if you don't express or if you don't verify or confirm your ownership, you could actually lose it, right? And so for example, if it's money that you have, then typically money is placed into an account, and that account has your name on it. And so that signifies to the world that you are the owner of that specific asset or those assets. If it's a car, for example, I know if you're young, you probably don't, but as you become older, that car you're going to have a title for that car. And that title will be in your name, and that's what will express your ownership of that particular item. Now, this next section it's a common area that many of you probably haven't thought of, but this is your ideas. Do most of you know that your ideas have a value? And your ideas can be your assets. And there's a whole body of law that protects your ideas, and it's known as intellectual property. So for example, if you've thought of some lyrics to words for a poem or lyrics to a song, a beat, a dance, or a drawing, anything that comes from your mind, anything that is an idea is an asset. And it can have a value. And it could be the source of your wealth. When you think of songwriters, their wealth comes from what? Writing songs. When you think of beats that are made by Timbaland, for example, those beats that he makes up or what have you, those are his assets. And that's how he accumulated his wealth. And so that will be one area that we will also focus on, would be just your ideas. First, identifying your ideas and putting your ideas in a format so that they can be protected. Now, let me clarify one thing. An idea that simply remains an idea kind of has no value because it's just an idea. That idea is protectable, or we can protect that idea, though, once it's placed on paper, once you write it down, once you record it, once you put it in a format that you can share it with others, then it becomes protectable, and then it becomes an asset, and then it becomes very, very valuable, and it could be, that value could grow into the millions. The next area is now, for example, let's look at your ideas, let's look at your stuff, right? And so both the speakers before me spoke about some of the greatest ways to transfer wealth. And many of you may not have heard of some of these terms, but you will learn these terms as you come through the 360 Abundance Foundation. And one term is a trust. And a trust is probably one of the greatest kept secrets in the world of transferring wealth. It is probably one of the greatest kept secrets. And basically, it's a box, if you will, where you place your stuff, where you place your ideas. And then on top of that, you then have some instructions for what you want to happen with that stuff during your life and after you're gone. And so it's one of the best ways to pass on your stuff to other people, or to your family, or to friends, or to whomever, or to organizations. And so that would be one of the things that we'll be talking about as well. And the key with the trust, though, is that these will be your instructions. Now, I know as kids, and I know as a child for me, one of the things my parents would always tell me, especially if you have brothers and sisters and you have friends, is to not be selfish. Well, from my perspective, in this small area, whenever you encounter me in the context of the 360 Abundance Foundation, I'm going to encourage you to be selfish. I'm going to encourage you to think about your stuff. I'm going to encourage you to think about your instructions. How do you want your stuff to be handled while you're living and after you're gone? That's going to be key. Now, the next area here, you may have heard of it, you may not. And I tried to think of a way to present this concept in a way that would make sense to you. Now, Earlier, I mentioned your stuff, and I also mentioned in the context of a trust the importance of having instructions. If you do not have instructions, what happens is you then fall into a default category. If you go to school, if you do nothing, on the exam, you're given an exam, you do nothing, you get a 0, or you fail. Well, the same here in life. If you fail to leave any instructions for how you want your assets, your stuff to be managed, controlled, and to whom you want it to go, you will fall into a default category, and then that's when this government or court steps in and does this thing called probate. And so at that point, you've lost control, and then the court determines how your stuff will be divided, where it will go, what happens to those beats that you made that you didn't claim ownership of, what happened to that money that comes from those beats. Well, that's that default category, and that's when the court or the government will basically decide. So we'll learn how to avoid that default category. The next is, now, your lifetime plan. Remember, I spoke about your instructions, also spoke about your choices. Now, during your life, you can choose as it relates to, for example, if you were to get sick, or for example, or if you are living but you have a condition that doesn't allow you to speak, you could identify, make choices about who you want to speak for you. Now, as children, you don't have many choices in that regard because most of the times your parents are going to speak for you. And so your choices are important, however, because at some point you're not going to be a child. And so at some point you are going to have to implement, you're going to have to write down your choices, who you want to speak for you, who you want to handle your business and your affairs. And I know as a kid you're thinking, yeah, but it's not important right now, but it is important to get into that mindset and to begin to implement those things so that as you grow older, it just becomes second nature to you. And in many instances, after you become an adult, then those things will always be in place. And then finally, your legacy plan. How do you want to be remembered? Even as a kid, you can begin to think about that. How do I want to be remembered? What do I want my legacy to be? How do I want to provide for my family after I'm gone? Either your family, your parents, your grandparents, or even someday you're going to have children of your own. And so what type of life do you want them to live? And what do you want to have in place for them? So these are the tools that you'll be equipped with so that you can implement these things even at a young age, and that will be with you throughout your adult life. And so again, the focus is on, again, my stuff, my ideas, my instructions, my choices, and my family, which in essence is my legacy. Thanks for your attention, and look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you, Roy, and thank you to all the professionals that have come here with us today. That's segments 1 through 4, and you can feel free to talk to any of those professionals afterwards. Look, how many of you really love spending money? Right, and that's an actual personality trait. We're going to talk about that during the curriculum. It's called an adore personality. You just adore spending money. How many of you spend money and then feel guilt after you bought it? Sometime later you feel guilt about it. What would it be like? What would it be like to spend money like crazy and never feel guilt about it? Wouldn't that be nice? So in my family, I'm what is known as the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer inside my family. My job is to make as much money as I can, as fast as I can. That's my job. And sometimes they come in, they see me at the computer, and they say, what you doing? And I just give them a look. I'm making money. I'm figuring out ways, like Brian said, to bring money in as fast as possible. And my wife has a job too. She's the CSO, the Chief Spending Officer. Her job is to spend the money. And I get excited when she spends it. Why? Because we've allocated a portion of our money for spending. Now, I don't want to just harp on the word spend, but what we want to call it is enjoy money. You should enjoy money. A pastor once said, money is for loving. I love it when birthdays come. I get to give the kids gifts, and we always just give them money. We just give them money. We don't waste time going trying to pick out stuff. Just try to give them as much money as possible on their birthday. Another rotation around the sun. And so right now you're going to hear from my favorite person in the whole world, and she's going to teach. And she's pretty too, really pretty. And she's going to teach you guys about enjoying money. All right, give Monisha Dalco a hand.
Thank you, babe.
Can I stay?
Yeah, you can stay.
Oh.
Just move out of the way. First of all, hello, everyone, and I applaud each and every one of you for being here today. Enjoying money. So, how many of you really like it? You like to enjoy money. And it's important because if you do all of those things that you've just learned about, this is your reward, right? This is the fun pillar. I like to enjoy, I like to do things. But notice how this pillar is not first on this financial journey. We are in 5th place here. And that's very, very, very important because you want to make sure you have planned for this. Why do you think it is? I just kind of shared it with you, but I want to hear from some of you. If this pillar was in 1st place, how will that affect some of the things that you've already learned today? If you come out of the gate spending, 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 what does that mean for all of these other things that you've learned about? Yes. Yeah, you won't be able to do it. Anybody else want to chime in on that? You get the idea, right? If you decide to just have fun and fail to apply the previous pillars, your face is going to end up looking like this. You don't want that. You don't want your money to take wings and fly away and not come back. You'll be looking sad with this cycle of money coming and money going. It is important to learn how to live with intention. Do you understand what that means? Living with intention. You just want to make sure that those decisions that you make along the way are purposeful and won't end up being regretful. You want to create meaningful experiences always. It teaches you healthy reward systems, celebrating milestones responsibly, balancing enjoyment and long-term goals, and understanding the psychology behind why patience pays off. Who has ever experienced you want something right now, you want to go somewhere, do something, and your parents say, not right now? How does that make you feel? If it's something that you really want, how does it make you feel? You don't want to wait, do you? Your friends are at the skating rink. That's what we used to do when I was growing up. And if my parents told me I could not go this weekend to the skating rink, I felt like I was going to die. But nevertheless, patience paid off. You absolutely 100% deserve to enjoy the fruit of your labor, but not your seed. You have every right to enjoy it if you've planned for it. We don't want this to be you. You're in school, you're learning a lot, you focus, you grind, you repeat that. There are things you want to accomplish in life, so you are grinding away. No fun is being had here. But a few years later, and we already talked about how quickly time goes, right, everybody? A few years later, you're going to end up in this same rut. This is the kind of rut that creates burnout. Burnout could then lead to you having health issues. We talked about health. You don't want to be in this rut. We want you healthy, as Ms. Gwen Mason talked about this morning in her intro. You want to be healthy along this journey. Let's do a little vision casting. I want to hear from some of the youth in the room. If you had some money, enough money to do maybe one of the things you want to do most, what would that be? Share with some of us what you'd like to do, whether it's go on a trip or whatever. Yes, sir. making more money to start a business. Anything else? Now remember, this is in the enjoy part of the pillar. Shop, I heard shop. Travel. Anybody else? Okay, so you get the idea. If you've done what you need to do, you've got the money to do it, your plan supports it, it's all good. You give yourself permission to enjoy what you've worked so hard for. Parents, tell me, do you feel like you've worked your whole life, even though you didn't get started until you, 18? Do you feel like you've worked since you came out of the womb? It's like never ending. And if you don't work, you don't eat, right? So you've got to take time to enjoy yourselves. Your plan should account for both today's wants and tomorrow's needs. So every time you spend, make sure you're thinking about tomorrow. Is some of this that I'm spending right now what I'm supposed to have next week? Be mindful, starting early, young people. It's a great feeling when you can say yes to something today without creating regret later. I've been there, I know, take it from me. It's good to say yes, but here again, you don't want to do it regretfully. All we're basically sharing with you in this pillar is for you to just always be mindful. Be mindful of those things that you know and sometimes don't know is going to be before you in your future. You want to have good choices or make good choices today so that you'll have brighter tomorrows. Each and every tomorrow should get brighter and brighter because you're more knowledgeable about things that we didn't get when we were younger. You have such a great advantage. Please, please, please take advantage of this information that you will be presented with today. We're almost done here, but if you choose to be a part of our organization. So now I'm going to ask my husband to come back up here, and we want to talk to you together about this last pillar. At the bottom of this slide, it says, building a legacy for more than just yourself. You want to be able to transfer this money to your heirs, or as mentioned earlier, family members, friends, charitable organizations.
See if Sean has another mic. I want to talk to you guys about something really important here. It just hit me as Melissa was talking. Do you see this at the top right here, the 360 title sponsor? You guys see that? Yes. That's our foundation, and we just started, I think, Roy, we started in April maybe? We just got started in April. We've collected $0. Like, we haven't started soliciting donations yet. We collected $0, and yet we were able to title sponsor the 360 Abundance Foundation. How did we do that? How did we do that? How would you like it? I know, that's pretty awesome. Now, the reason why we did it is because of our depth of relationship with Hank. And Hank taught me this, is everything comes through relationships. You connect the dots. It's all through relationship. But how were we able, as a foundation, to give enough funds to the Stewart Foundation without collecting any donations? And this is what's so powerful about these 6 pillars that we're going to be teaching our scholars over the next 4 years. You want to get to the place, write this down in your head if not on paper. You want to get to the place where everything feels free. Get to the point where everything you do feels free. And Hank, title sponsorship is not that inexpensive, is it? But we didn't even balance the books. It's not a boast. It's a testament to the 6 pillars we're going to be teaching our scholars over the next years. How would you like it if everything you did sort of felt like it was free? And that's through residual income, passive income, and then putting a system together where your money is always working for you. So as soon as you spend something, it comes right back. Who likes that? All right, so we're going to talk about transferring wealth. Now, this doesn't mean you died. This is the good part about transferring wealth. Who can see me and Monisha standing up here? Raise your hand. That's proof that we didn't die, right? We were able to transfer some wealth from the 360 Abundance Foundation to the Stewart Foundation while we were alive. And our daughters, I think two of our daughters are here. One is over our media and one is over community affairs, Kai and Kayla. And we are transferring wealth to them while we're alive. Who likes that? Like, you don't have to wait until you're dying and then Roy comes in and starts reading off to the kids what their parents left them. No, we're leaving them stuff right now so that when we have our birthday, they can give us a card with some money in it. Right? So the first thing is communicate the family's values, visions, and expectations. Monisha, you passionate about that? Communicating the vision of the family.
Yeah, it's really, really important, everyone. So you're getting all of this information, you're getting all of this knowledge, right? But your other family members who aren't here today, they don't even have any idea how important this is. You've got to be that leader in the family to start communicating the vision, to communicate the values and the expectations of what you'd like the family to accomplish over a given period of time. You've got to be that mouthpiece to get them excited about this journey. Generational wealth, remember Michael said earlier, it doesn't happen in one generation. You've got to have multiple generations on board with you to accomplish what it is your goal is for your family.
Yeah, you know, Scripture says, write the vision, make it plain, so that he that readeth can run. Roy was talking to us, our legal counsel, Roy Turner, was talking to us about having a family constitution. You don't think about that really, but you write out what you want your family to look like. Write it down. Have a vision for your family.
I'd like to also interject. You see right here, it says you don't just transfer the wealth, you transfer the knowledge required to keep it. Michael and I can work hours and hours and hours building something that we feel like is going to be beneficial for generations to come. But the next generation that steps in could blow it all. They could just totally mess it up, not only for themselves, of course, for future generations after them.
I've got a friend of mine who has a very thriving business, and he takes care of his whole family. He's got 2 sons, takes care of his whole family with his business, but his sons don't want to do the business. So you gotta, Derek Campbell, our board member, he says you gotta sell that vision to your family. The fact that he has a meeting with his grandchildren, he's selling the family vision. I think that's powerful. Organize the documents that contain information about your assets. Now, Roy and Derek, they set up the family trust and the insurance policies and everything, but what good is that if nobody in the family knows where it is?
Right, you've got to have it in some kind of private, secure location, and you've got to be able to trust somebody in the family to also know where those things are. In the event you're not here anymore, they've got to be able to quickly go to those resources and implement and execute what you put in place.
Yeah, you don't want somebody having to break into the family safe when you pass on, right? You want somebody to have the combination to the safe. So organizing your assets and then educating your heirs about how everything operates. Oh man, this is so big. So Monisha and I were in Los Angeles last weekend, thanks to Mr. Stewart. We were there celebrating with Mike Tyson and their foundation. And while we were there was a huge storm here in Atlanta. All the power went out and nobody was at the house except Mama. Mama was up in her space at the house, and Gwen, the power was gone, the internet was out, and then the girls were coming over, but they weren't there yet, right? So I called one of my friends and said, Jason, get over to the house and get the internet and everything fixed. We got it fixed, but the point is, Mama didn't know how everything in the house operates. You know, where's the Wi-Fi? Where's the breaker boxes? And so Monisha came up with this great idea to put a manual together on how everything works. Color-coded, highlighted tabs, put a whole manual together about your family's assets and how things work.
I'm still building it.
Still building it.
But it may seem daunting, but when you get started on it, it's rather fluid. Things come to you pretty quickly. And I want my daughters, our grandbabies, whoever, if you need to get to something quickly, just go to the book to see where it is.
And then Yeah, creating a succession plan. So this one's a big one. Now, a lot of times you think about succession, you think about dying. I was talking to Roy one day, and he said, you know, I have approach avoidance about making my will. And he said, Mike, you know, a lot of people, they go through that, but making the will is not about dying, it's about living. I said, break that down. He said, once you put together how you want things to go when you pass on, now you can just get about the business of living. That makes sense. Once you get money as an issue out of the way, now you can just go live your life.
Another thing in reference to that, everyone, and Michael and I will probably go ahead and do this. Well, we actually already started. But normally, when you think about something like a will, you're getting exposed to that content after someone passes. We are going through the process now of telling the kids what's in it, what to expect, what you're getting, what you're not, so there won't be any confusion, fights, what have you, exposing them to it while we are alive.
Yeah, Monisha manages the family trust, and so our game plan, we're going to be teaching you guys this. I know it's hard to think about 40 years from now. How many of you young people want to have children, have a family? Let's see, it's kind of weird to talk about at 15, 16, but you should think about that and what you want your family to look like. And so Monisha's now working on a plan where she's no longer managing the family trust, but she passes that on to the next person in succession so she can sit on the porch, on the rocking chair with our daughter's puppy and just chill. You know, passing things on right away, transference of wealth. And then finally, reviewing the plan regularly. At home, sometimes we say, well, what happens if, let's say if there's a bad weather and there's a hurricane coming, where do we go? So we practice, we go upstairs, somebody goes up and gets mama, don't take the elevator down, take the stairs down, 2 flights, go into the safe room, and that's where you go, and we practice that. So that in the event, if something happens, you're not scurrying around trying to figure out what to do, you're well versed in how things roll. And that's the same with your family's wealth. How does it work? My daughters are really good about, they stay in and manage one of our family's properties, and we talk about sometimes them moving out and getting their own place, getting a different place, and they go, yeah, but then you got rent or mortgage, and that's money I could keep in my pocket. See, now, they're messed up. They're messed up because they're so indoctrinated with this information until it's hard for them to blow money. So then when they get ready to go on vacation, they can borrow out because they've done pillar 1, 2, 3, 4, and now they can enjoy their money. We want to transfer that information to the next generation.
So now we just want to say thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for having an attentive ear, and we wish you much financial success.
Wow, did y'all enjoy that? I think y'all missed the last little bit was, well, everything was good. Did you hear what they kind of dropped easily, you know, so we got to come down, as we have an exit plan, we got to come down, instead of taking the elevator, we have to come down the stairs. They were talking about in their house. Did y'all miss that? I can't read lips. Okay. So it was, they were talking about their home, not coming down because they have an elevator in their house. So instead of coming down the elevator, you got to take the stairs and da-da-da. So y'all missed that, right? So that's funny. Let me just say this. Mike and Monisha and 360, y'all did a phenomenal job. Did they do a great job? Y'all give them a huge round of applause. I mean, like, I was sitting there taking notes. We were taking notes, sharing notes, looking around, and I know Gwen's got a whole bunch of notes that she's gonna come up and we're gonna do some confirmational learning. One thing that I wanted to say, young people and parents, on the other side of town, or in other cities, or another part of the country or the world, they're having these conversations with these young people like this right now. I'm telling you, y'all are getting left behind. We're trying to catch you up. They're having these conversations with their children. And George Willis, Gwen and I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago. George Willis, he sits on the board, and this one particular board that he sits on, it's a family business. Every child that is born into this business is born a millionaire. He or she are automatically a millionaire when they're born into this family. Automatically, right? So I want you all to understand, like my grandson's birthday is tomorrow. I'm so excited, I don't know what to do. Like my grandson's, his birthday is tomorrow. We're having a party for him today. And everybody's talking about buying gifts. Guess what y'all think I'm buying him? What do y'all think I'm buying him? Transformer, what else? I'm buying him a share of stock. I'm buying him a share. He's getting a Disney stock. One share, right? For his first birthday. Now Mike mentioned and Mo mentioned title sponsor. Y'all saw this, a lot of y'all saw this when y'all came to the Youth White Linen. Y'all saw the title sponsor. What do you think the title sponsor, what makes you a title sponsor? Anybody know? The level of donation, right? About 7 years ago, Mike and Mo came to a White Linen, and they said to Gwen and I, we're gonna be y'all title sponsor one year. Now hear me. Delta and UPS and all of these have been title sponsors. Y'all familiar with Delta and UPS, right? And they walk up and say, we're gonna be your title sponsor. I called Gwen this year when I just talked to Mike and said, guess who our title sponsor is? And she started shouting. Am I right, Gwen? We're trying to set you up right now. And if you are not a ninth grader, I would be begging them to let me come and be a part of this program. Parents, I would be trying to find a way to get my kids, grandkids, as a part of this program. Convince them that they need to widen the range from, if you're an 8th grader, please let me in 8th. If you're 10th grade, please find a way to get into this program. How many of y'all want to be millionaires? Raise your hand. Anybody want to be a millionaire? I want to be one because I want to be able to transfer those funds to my grandson. And so it starts now in how you spend. You know, I work out every day. I got up and I worked out today. And I'll never forget this, Gwen. I was working out one day, and I work out. Today is day 3,510 straight workout days for me. 3,510 straight workout days. Like every day I get up and I'm working out. 3,510. And I remember when I started working out and I was trying to drop a couple of pounds, and Teresa, when I would stop by to get some gas, and I would go in and I said, I'm gonna buy a Snicker. And I would read the back of the pack and saw that a Snicker had 300 and something calories. And I remember how long it took me to burn those calories on the elliptical. I put that Snicker back. When you start understanding how you want to save money, you start looking at things and you start saying, you know what, I ain't losing my money. I'm not giving my money on this. You start changing the way you spend your money. You start hanging out with people who are having this conversation about stocks. You start to change your I don't think we ever talked about sports, Mike, have we? Always about community, money, and how to move forward. Am I right? We've never had a sports conversation ever. And we've been knowing each other how long? 16 years. We've never had a sports conversation. I'm not knocking sports, but we just have we have conversations that benefits the both of us in the community. Right, Jordan? I mean, we have real conversations. So young people, start hanging out with people. That's why I love the Stewart Foundation family. Would y'all please raise your hand? The Stewart Foundation, I love this group because they are so committed to community, right? So you got to hang out with people who are like-minded and think the same way you think. So when you want to save money, you don't want to hang out with people who like blowing money. If a drunk hang out with a drunk, neither one of them ever be sober. If you're hanging out with people who are not going anywhere, it's not going to be long before you have your brakes on. Change your crowd. We used to say this all the time at all of our meetings, Grant. If you can't change the crowd that you're in, then change the crowd that you're in. Right? If you can't change the crowd that you're in, then change the crowd that you're in. Does that make sense? If you can't change the crowd that you're in, then change the crowd that you're in. If you can't change the crowd that you're in, then change the crowd that you're in. And if you're committed to being like my new hero, well, I'm too old to be 22 to retire, but you all have an opportunity to do that. You have an opportunity if you start right now. My dad used to say, and Gwen, you can come on right, I know she's ready to do this, but my dad used to say, don't spend all your money. He says, if you get a quarter, save a nickel. If you get a dime, save a penny. I think I still got my third grade lunch money right now. I believe in saving. Learn that now. And parents start, and if the children don't want to, it's up to you to help force that on them. And I said force, because you want them to be able to take care. One of my biggest fears was, I'm glad my son can do it now, was to be able to take care of himself. So I'm Michael, Mo, y'all did it. Mo, Mike, y'all did a phenomenal job. We network all the time. And, you know, it's just, I'm telling y'all, time has moved. Didn't the summer go real quick? Y'all back in school now, right? Didn't that summer go real quick? Next summer's gonna go even quicker. And before you know it, you'll be grown, and you'll be out, and you'll be looking back like a lot of us, wishing we would have done some things differently. I had a conversation with Ms. Aquila probably a year ago when she was retiring, and she was real strategic about how she was getting ready to retire and how she had put her money. And when she walked out, she was very comfortable because she had how long you work with AT&T? 20, yeah. So she started, when she first started working there, to set up that she can do what she wants to do now. I'm telling you, young people, y'all can do it. You can do it. And parents, start training them. Give them allowance, Jordan. Give them allowance and say, look, I'm going to give you, starting out, I'm giving you $10 a week or $10 a month, however you want to do it, Mom. And start, you know, working on that muscle, that savings muscle. Working out is fun now. It wasn't when I started 3,510 days ago. It was hard. It's not going to be easy for them when you start out. But if you keep doing it, before you know it, they'll be putting their money aside. Like, no, I got to save. Most of y'all are real good at saving anyway, because y'all want to spend your parents' money. When y'all have money, y'all don't want to spend y'all money, right? Am I right? Am I right? You got your money. It's under the mattress like the old folks, you know, in a sock, right? Hidden. But when you stop, you say, Mama, can we stop at Chick-fil-A? She's like, yeah, let's use your money. No, we don't have to stop at Chick-fil-A. Y'all got the concept. Y'all got it. Start, I'm telling you, and Ms. Gwen here, I'm going to give you the mic. I'm just saying, young people, start hanging out with each other. Start talking about how you're going to start investing together, working together. All right? Please give them another round of applause. They did a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Great job.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Just use it.
So, we love confirmation of learning. We want to make sure that whatever it is that we get, we commit it to memory, we're active with it, we utilize it. Here's the essence of wisdom. Wisdom is utilizing the knowledge that you have. It is application. It is the utilization of it. Knowledge is what, boys and girls? Knowledge is what? Knowledge is what? Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. I have a question for you, and with this, you'll get to win a prize. So let me get my prizes. Throughout today's election, you will have the opportunity to win prizes. So I have one really, really good great confirmation of learning. And that is, I want a boy or girl to share with me, one, who was and is our title sponsor, and two, who are the co-founders of that organization. Let me see a hand. Who knows the answer? Who knows the answer? It is, all right, I see you right back here. Stand up, young lady. Tell us, one, who you are, and then answer the question. Yes. There we go. Names are imperative. They are making marks that cannot be erased. So the answer and the correct response was 360 Abundance Foundation and Mike and Monisha Delco. So great. Come on up and get you a prize. Remember the great books that Miss Angela told us about earlier? We want you to choose there because there's power within these pages. And we want, when you get this book, commit to reading it, okay? What is your desire? What's your choice, my dear? Was it the Black Fortunes? It was this one, okay. Great job. Congratulations, congratulations. We don't forget those individuals that came into our presence because those individuals gave of what their time, and time is something that you cannot get back. So they actually had other individuals that came and presented this incredible information. So my next question is, who was the gentleman that actually shared regarding growing money? What was his name? Let us not forget those who came before us. What was his name? I'm going to take the money back with me. All right? So this is a gimme, and we'll come back to it. His name is Alan Austin. Where's Mr. Austin? Stand up, Mr. Austin. Stand up. See that he imparted in you. He sowed a seed in you regarding growing money. And there was a gentleman that actually came and shared with us regarding earning money, right? That first pillar. And who was that about earning money? Who talked with us about earning money? Who talked with us about earning money? All right, stand up, where's Mr. Brian Beam? Stand up, Mr. Beam. There's Mr. Beam. He was a powerhouse. Was a powerhouse. So don't forget about Mr. Bean. These are the people you need to run to and get their phone numbers. You want to connect. You want to have them on speed dial, right? And then there was also another gentleman. I just don't want you all to forget these faces of people who make and invest in us, because when they invest in you, they're investing in all of us. And then protecting your money. And coverage of protecting your money was done by who? Any boy or girl know? Make the name stick. Make the name stick. Anyone know? Give it up for Mr. Derek Campbell. Where's Derek? Derek's still in the room. Get his phone number, boys and girls. Get his phone number. And also in protecting our money was also another gentleman, Mr. Ray Turner. Give it up for Ray. Where's Ray? Come on up. Stand up, Ray. Y'all see him? Don't forget, get a phone number. Right? Crucial. And of course, you all know Mike and Monisha Delco, but we don't want you to forget them. So throughout the election, I am going to be asking you questions to confirm your learning as our election committee counts the votes. So we've got gift cards, we've got books, and you get a chance to win. So now, we do what a leadership organization does. We do what a leadership organization does. And with that leadership organization, we are here to exercise our right to vote. And with exercising our right to vote, there are individuals that have met the requirements in order to, one, vote, and two, to run for a position. And as I call your name, and if I could get the lanyards, get the badges here. Let me have the other ones too. Give a round of applause for Miss June Estelle and Miss Aquila McIntosh and Miss Monica Teasley, who is a part of our elections board. Oh, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. Stay right here with them. Stay right here with them. And then immediately after we identify those who will vote, as well as those who are going to be running for office, we'll take a quick 5-minute break so you all go to the restroom so you won't miss this. But this is an important part of what we are and who we are, because as mentioned, what is our mission? To strengthen our children's whole mind, body, and soul. We are building exceptional leaders. So, for the individual that has actually met the qualification first, and I'd like for you to please come up and stand with us. Mr. Josiah Davis, come to the front, Josiah. He has been approved by our election board to actually run for office. So if you would please place that on Mr. Josiah's neck, that would be great, June. And then we have, and these tables here are actually reserved for all of our individuals that are running for office. So if you are not, we'll need for you to go back to another seat. And Miss Ansley Flynn, is Ansley here? Come on up, Ansley. We're super excited. Thank you so much. Ansley is qualified to actually vote and run for office. Then we have Mr. Cameron Snooty. Come on up, Cameron. You are eligible to run for office as well as vote. It's not, Okay. And then we, of course, have Mr. Nicholas Hornbuckle. Come on up, Nicholas. Stay up here, Cam. Stay up here. Stay up here with us, Cam. Cam, come back. Stay up here with us, okay? And Miss Kennedy Jones. Kennedy has met the requirements. Come on up, Kennedy. Stand on that side, girl. Stand on that side. Kennedy Jones. I do. I want them all. And Mr. Matthew Craig. Where is Matthew? Come on up, Matthew. Oh, there is Matthew. And Mr. Michael Davis. Michael Davis. And Olivia Fenor. Where is Olivia? There's Olivia. There we are. Thank you, Jean, for getting them here. I appreciate you. Great parenting. I so appreciate it. And Miss Kyla Detweiler. Come on up, Kyla. Miss Leah Fenor. Come on up, Leah. Mr. Michael Flynn. Come on down, Michael. And Michael's not here. Oh, man. Michael's here. He's not right. He's here. But no, he needs to vote. Michael Flynn, if he's not present. Okay. Okay. I'm about to. And Miss Chloe Detweiler, come on down, Chloe. And Mr. Carter Snowdy, come on down, Carter. And Miss Bethany Henley, come on down, Bethany. And last and certainly not least, Miss Callie Norwood. Come on up, Callie. So let's please state for the records, we do have 15 of our 14 eligible candidates to run for office, as well that have the ability to actually vote. Voting is primary. Voting is important. It is your right. Please exercise your right to vote. Do not let it fall on the table, okay? So at this time, we would like to thank all of our voting delegates. And for everyone else, we are going to take basically 5 minutes if you need to run to the restroom, because this next statement is really, really important. This is where the responsibilities will take place. You will hear all of the speeches in between. Remember, you are going to have an opportunity to win some great prizes. I've got gift cards, I've got money, and I have books. So you're going to get an opportunity to win those great prizes. Yes, I absolutely will. So we're going to take this break. But remember, you have to actually make 6 of the previous year's sessions in order to become eligible to vote. Because this is the new fiscal year, this is August. That means that's 1 for you. So if you make it to the next, and the Stewart Foundation meets which Saturday every month? The 3rd Saturday of every month. Just put it on your calendar, and you know what you're doing. The 3rd Saturday for 20 years we've been doing that, okay? So go ahead and take your 5 minutes, go to the restroom, you can grab a little bite to eat. We're going to get our voting delegates in their seats, and as we do that, we're going to then begin elections. a crucial part of our process. We are about to roll through the process of identifying our newly elected officers. Our newly elected officers, and Michael's not here. All right.
Please, we want you to stay around, listen to our speeches. Our young people, please do not leave.
Yes, please don't leave. Please have a seat. This is a really sacred part of what we do because leadership is crucial. So as we, Hank and I, and Allison, where's Allison? We founded this organization. It was really about leadership and putting great leaders in great positions to do magnificent work. So if we all could please take a seat. As we begin our election process. So, for our 2026-2027 Stewart Foundation available office positions, there are a few things that we need to ensure that we care for. All right, so there are some things that we need to discuss just to ensure that all of the officers are actually on the same page. And with those officers being on the same page, there are some obligations that it is absolutely imperative, and I want to make sure, and for the parents that are actually here, that you hear what these obligations are, because as a parent, we need for you all to help us reinforce these things. So first, within an officer's term, there are 12 specific workshops. The expectations are that you are going to make all of those workshops. So you know the frequency of the Stewart Foundation meeting. We meet, every third Saturday. You put it on your calendar, you know it's happening, right? So you have to be at those third Saturday workshops. We know that life happens. We know that, sometimes there's an SAT test or what have you. So you are allowed to only miss 2. Only miss 2 out of that year. And if a workshop is missed, you must notify the president. And we are going to soon understand who that president is, as well as Ms. Aquila, who is the Youth Liaison Director. Clear? So we've got to follow by those rules. There are 2 mandatory leadership forms. The first is your leadership training. Your training is imperative so that you know how to operate in the role that you've been designated to work in, because you will be responsible for executing these missions. The very, very first one is your leadership training. The leadership training takes place on September 19th and 20th. That is immediately after your day and then the morning of the next day, okay? The 19th and 20th. So you have to be that. It is mandatory. And then a minimum of 1 conference call per month. It will be called by the president. And those are standard meetings so that you all can handle your business and you can do your appropriate planning based on the vision that has been set by the board and the vision of the president. and upcoming financial needs. They shall also help with engaging activities that educate peers on earning, saving, spending, budgeting, and shall share practical financial tips on fundraising. And they shall uphold honesty, responsibility, respect, and care when handling financial information, perform other age-appropriate duties assigned by the president, the finance director, the Stewart Foundation Board of Directors. The floor is now open for treasurer. Do I have any nominations? I do acknowledge you, Chloe Detweiler. All right, Chloe nominates herself. Are there any other nominees for treasurer? I do see Mr. Matthew Craig. Michael Davis. All righty. Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Any other nominations for treasurer? With there being none, we have Ms. Chloe Detweiler and Mr. Michael Davis. So please cast your ballots at this time for treasurer. Cast your ballot for treasurer. Oh, we do need the speeches, don't we, baby? Thank you. That's why I need you all. I need you all desperately, because we want to hear from the treasurer, because they don't handle the money, right? That's a big deal. Come on up here, Chloe. Come on up here, Michael. Come on up here. And of course, we do this alphabetically, and so we are going to hear from Mr. Michael Davis first, and Michael's going to help us understand why he should be treasurer.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael Davis, and this is my 8th year of the Stewart Foundation, and I want to be treasurer this year again. So treasurer is traditionally about keeping accurate records of money, receipts, and being someone that's detailed, oriented, and trustworthy, and that's exactly who I am. Last year, I also served as treasurer, and I got some insight, but this year I want a little more. See, I'm a math person, and when I don't get the insight, I don't get to do it, I kind of feel left out. I want to do it all. This year, I want to stand by the president and the vice presidents and the entire board through teamwork and all this other stuff that we could do together. I remember Miss Gwen told me the first time I ran for office and I didn't make it, she said, God has a plan for you. It wasn't your time this year, but you'll get it next year. And that's exactly what happened last year. Last year, during both retreats, I was able to interact with the people from Guyana. And when I sat down with my mentor, James, they're showing me the spreadsheets. And that really gave me more passion for what this role really is. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Now we have Ms. Chloe Detweiler.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Chloe Detweiler, and I'm running for treasurer. As treasurer, I will help manage foundation funds by keeping accurate records, assisting with receipts and financial reports, and tracking money collected at events and fundraisers. I believe I can serve effectively because I am responsible, dependable, and careful. I would handle the role with honesty and integrity. Vote for Chloe Detweiler. Yippee!
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Michael Davis, as well as Chloe Detweiler. And now you may cast your votes for treasurer. All right, great job, great job. My. So let us take a look at understanding a little bit more and confirming our knowledge around growing money. There was a rule that Mr. Alan Austin shared with us this morning. There was a rule. What was that rule that he shared? Anyone? What was that rule that Mr. Alan Austin shared I see a hand. Do I see a hand? Oh, yes. What was that rule? No. And let me tell you this. It was actually just a hand. What was it? Yes, it was the 72 rule. Yes. All right, the 72 rule. All right, great job. You all are really, really paying attention. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. As he was actually sharing, he shared how to quickly, there were 8 different principles under this 72 rule that he shared. Can somebody give me minimally 4 of those principles in operating in actually growing and obtaining funds and making those funds work for you? What were those 4? Yeah, what is it? What was that? Starting a brand? No, not quite. Branding wasn't there. He did, I'm gonna give you a hint. He did tell us whatever you do, start early. You guys remember that? He said, whatever you do, you start early. And with that, remember he talked about the power of compounding. All right, so give me the 4 others then, Michael, if you have it. Yes, building consistently. Understand your risk. Yes, build wealth and not just the appearance of wealth. And become an owner. Exquisite, Michael. Great job. Great job. There you go, good sir. There you go. Very, very good. Very, very good. You all did an exquisite job. We're learning so, so much today. We are learning so much. So I would like to ask for our treasurers to come back up, our treasurer candidates, to please come back and join me, Ms. Chloe Detweiler and Mr. Michael Davis, as we reveal our results of our next treasurer for the Stewart Foundation. It is coming. Mr. Quill making some powerful things happen back there. You guys give Mr. Quill a big round of applause. We love her. Yes, we do. Miss June Estelle over there. Here we go. Oh, it was Chloe Detweiler with 3 and Mr. Michael Davis with 11. Congratulations. Congratulations, Michael. You are our next treasurer. You all may have a seat. Congratulations. Next, we have our parliamentarian. Let's keep it going. We have our parliamentarian, and I'd like to open up the floor for any nominations for parliamentarian. All right. Ansley Flynn has nominated herself for parliamentarian. Are there any other nominations for parliamentarian? And Kyla, you have the floor. And Chloe Detweiler has, Chloe, do you accept that nomination? Chloe, do you accept the nomination of parliamentarian? No? Okay. She has denied the nomination, Kyla. Are there any other nominations for a parliamentarian? Oh, yeah, we do. I'm just moving ahead, aren't I? Yeah, just briskly. So with this responsibility, just so you know, it is the law and order role. It is a job that helps keep order in any form. So with that parliamentarian, you shall be the authority and consultant to a leader of tomorrow. You shall have a working knowledge of the Stewart Foundation bylaws, policies, procedures, regulations, and gives opinion based on them, not your personal feelings. And you shall gain the confidence of the leader of tomorrow leadership staff, since he or she may be called on to settle controversial issues. And also call attention to any errors that may take place as a leader of tomorrow when it comes to procedures, but not as an authority to enforce those ideas or rulings, okay? So that is a parliamentarian. And with that said, are there any other nominations for a parliamentarian? Any other nominations for parliamentarian going once? All right, Chloe. All right, so Chloe Detweiler wants to nominate herself for parliamentarian, and this will be done in alphabetical order. And so therefore, the first speech will come from Ms. Chloe Detweiler. Come on up, Chloe.
Hello, my name is Chloe Detweiler, and I would like to run for parliamentarian. As parliamentarian, I would help make sure our meetings follow TCF rules and procedures and assist the president with procedural questions. I believe I can serve effectively because I am fair, respectful, and willing to learn the rules. I will help keep our meetings organized and productive.
Thank you, Chloe. Now we will hear from Ms. Ansley Flynn. Come on up, Ansley.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ansley Flynn. I'm running for a parliamentarian of the Youth Stewart Foundation because I believe structure, fairness, and order are what keep a great organization moving forward. The parliamentarian isn't the loudest voice in the room. They're the one who makes sure every voice can be heard. That's the kind of leader I am. I pay attention, I stay organized, and I make sure things run the way they're supposed to. If elected, I will focus on 3 priorities: fair procedures, clear communication, and youth empowerment. I'm running because I care about this foundation and the people in it. I want our meetings to be organized, our decisions to be fair, and our members to feel supported. With your vote, I'll make sure this foundation continues to grow with strong leadership and solid structure. Thank you for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Ansley Flynn. All right, we now will cast our ballots for the parliamentarian. Please cast your ballot for either Ansley Flynn or Chloe Detweiler. All right, so as we count those votes, let us look at what Mr. Derek Campbell shared with us, and that is about protecting our money. And here's where we safeguard what we built and prepare for life's uncertainties. He actually shared 4 arenas of which we need to protect. He shared 4 arenas of which we need to protect. What were those 4 arenas? Sure. Under protecting your money, here's where we want to safeguard what we've built, right, and prepare for life's uncertainty from Mr. Derek Campbell. What were those 4 arenas that he shared that we need to protect? Okay, Michael said car, your stuff, your health, and your life. So you need insurance on your car, you need insurance on your stuff. Your stuff could be, if you're renting property, right? Inside of that house, you may not own the house, but what you own inside of the house is yours. It is your stuff. Athletes, they put insurance on their body parts because their body parts help them make a living, right? It may be a leg or arm or whatever, right? Put insurance on yourself, your stuff, your health, and your cars. God, all right, great job, Michael. There you go, Michael. Michael's collecting. He's sharing. Yes, very good, Michael. And then we moved on, and as we continue to look at protect our money, Mr. Ray Turner joined us, and Ray wanted to help us understand own it, control it, and pass it on. And there were 6 different elements that he really tried to understand your stuff, right? So what was those 6 various different things that he shared that we need to make sure that we protect as we own it, control it, and pass it on? And I see Cameron. What were those, Cameron? Intellectual property, yes. Trust your instructions, yes. Probate, very good. And a lifetime plan. And legacy, very good, Cameron. The first was the ownership and title as well. Great job, Cameron. There you go, good sir. You all are such studious individuals, so studious. We absolutely love it. We love it, we love it, we love it. This is so magnificent. I am going to ask Ms. Ansley Flynn and Ms. Chloe Detweiler to join me at the front as we reveal our next parliamentarian. Ladies, stand right here, and we are going to reveal the results of our elections for parliamentarian. And our results are as, it didn't come up. Jason's over there being great uncle. He's a fabulous great uncle. Are you ladies nervous? Oh, so sweet. It's all good. And the results are, our next parliamentarian is it is coming. It is coming. See it. We just need to get something off the screen. Miss Ansley Flynn, congratulations, Ansley. Congratulations. That's what I'm talking. A handshake, a hug, all of that works, right? Very good. I love the sportsmanship. I love the sportsmanship. Next, we have our communications chair. And the communications chair sets communication strategy for the year in alignment with overall strategic direction from our president. And he or she develops communication plans and messages that integrate with coordinated various Stewart Foundation activities, review member communication and marketing materials, apply to the web administrator as needed, and directs the work to the web administrator, manages and promotes the social media to engage members and public of the Stewart Foundation, create and maintain branding standards for all Stewart Foundation communications, acts as a liaison with other professional organizations to promote the foundation in partnership with the president, serve as the public spokesperson for the organization, promote public recognition of the Stewart Foundation as authoritative source, strategizes, create, and disseminate the Stewart Foundation newsletter working with Ms. Sandra Newsom with Cabinet on development of articles. Are there any nominations for communications chair? Chloe. Very good, Chloe. I got you right here. Any other nominations for communications chair? Ansley. Bethany. Bethany, do you accept? Okay. All right. Are there any other nominations for communications chair? Any other nominations? With none being reported, then it is now closed. And we do have Ms. Chloe Detweiler and we have Bethany Hanley for communications chair. If you ladies would please join me at the podium. And of course, it's done by alphabetically, so therefore Ms. Chloe Detweiler will share her speech first.
Up here again. Hello, I'm Chloe Detweiler, and I'm running for communication chair. As communication chair, I would help keep members informed, promote TSF events, support social media and newsletters, and share positive information about the foundation. I believe I can serve effectively because I am creative, organized, and a good communicator. I would proudly represent TSF.
Thank you. All right, that was Chloe, and now for Bethany.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bethany Hanley, and I am honored to be running for communications chair. Although I have only been a part of the Stewart Foundation for 1 year, the lessons I've learned during that year will last me a lifetime. When I first became a member, I didn't know just how much this organization would help me grow, but during my time here, I found my voice. I learned that my ideas matter, that my words have power, and most importantly, that I can use my voice for good. And now I want to help others find theirs. As your communications chair, I want to create stronger connections within our organization. I want to make sure our members feel informed, included, and heard. I want to bring fresh ideas to the way we communicate, highlight the accomplishments of our youth, and help showcase the impact the Hank Stewart Foundation is making in our community. I may only have 1 year of experience, but I bring a fresh perspective, strong communication skills, a willingness to learn, and a genuine passion for serving others. The Stewart Foundation helped me find my voice. Now I want to use that voice to amplify yours. I would be honored to have your vote for communications chair. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. That is Ms. Chloe Detweiler and Bethany Hanley. Please cast your votes. Please cast your votes for communications chair. So as we continue our track of really understanding what we learned today, Ms. Moe actually shared some, I think, really, really vital things with our money and one of the key pillars. What key pillar did the co-founder of 360 Abundant, I see you, what was that? Enjoy your money. Come on up here and get your gift card. That's right. Ms. Moe talked about that we had to enjoy our money. After you've done all of that investing, all of that saving, all of that working for it, making it grow, understanding your compound and how to make that money grow, enjoy it. Great job. Great job. Congratulations. I love it. You all are getting this. You all are getting it. And it is so imperative that you're just not in the room, but you're gaining something from the room. With financial literacy and the importance of understanding the commodity of exchange, it is our goal to make our wealth significant, so that we will have an opportunity to do this. In the Word of God, it states that we are to leave an inheritance for what? Or who? We are to leave an inheritance for, complete that sentence. That's good, next generation, but specifically it says right here, children's children. That is essence what it is. Come on up and get your gift card. That we are to not just do it for ourselves, that we are to leave an inheritance for our children's children. Right? You are to make money not just for you, but for, in essence, it is for the generations to come. So great job. Love it. Remarkable, remarkable, remarkable. And we're going, how many are committed to making their money grow so that they can leave a generational wealth? They leave money for their children's children. Let me see a round of hands. That's right. That's right. That's what we're going to do. And it begins now. Getting that frame of mind right now of how you make that money work for you so that you can make it work for your children's children. That's imperative. You all are doing a remarkable job. A remarkable job. At this time, I would like to ask our nominees for Communications Chair to please join me as we reveal our winners. Come on back up here, Chloe. Come on over, Bethany. Let's stand there and let us see who our next Communications Chair is. Ta-da. I saw that. Oh, congratulations, Bethany. Congratulations, Bethany. Wow, we are almost there. And our next role is our community chair. Our community chair is such an important role. You can tell the community chair is out on the street, actually going out representing us. So the community chair initiates and facilitates community development initiatives, advocate for local issues and initiatives on behalf of the youth to the city or district council, central government departments, and other agencies, monitors the range of level of council services provided within the community board's jurisdiction, and to advocate changes as necessary, proactively anticipate strategies and policies that may have a future impact on today's youth, and responds to community issues and submissions, and acts as a leader in the community where problems may arise and where issues and initiatives need to be prompted. The floor is now open for community chair. Do I hear Michael? Kennedy, do you accept that nomination? Yes, all right. Are there any other nominations for community chair? I acknowledge Carter Snowdy. And, okay. There has been a nomination. Okay, baby. All right, are there any other nominations for community chair? Are there any other nominations for community chair? With no nominations, no additional nominations, then the floor is closed for community chair. We would like to ask Ms. Kennedy Jones to come up and render her speech.
Good afternoon. My name is Kennedy Jones, and this will be my 6th year as a member of the Stewart Foundation. Okay. This is also my 3rd time running as community chair. So during my time as community chair, I have been doing all sorts of community outreach events with Ms. Sandra, my mentor, as well as working on the newsletter for the Stewart Foundation. In addition, I'm also an active player of the Dutchtown High School tennis team, and I've been able to balance both being a student athlete as well as being active in the foundation. And yeah, that's why I think I deserve y'all vote.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kennedy Jones. Please cast your votes at this time for community chair. Please cast your ballots for community chair. There were two types of income that Mr. Mike and Ms. Mo actually shared that is part of this cycle that we actually operate in. Those two different types of income, one started with an R and the other started with a P. What were those two different types of incomes that they constantly shared with us that takes place? Can anybody give me those two? One starts with an R and the other starts with a P. What type of income? The type of income is, what's that, Josiah? Passive, absolutely, passive is. So great job, Josiah, passive, and the other one is what? Residual. Yeah, residual, passive income and residual income. How do you all feel about making money while you sleep? How about making money while you sleep? That's when you are actually making those investments. You are sowing your money. You are making your money grow. You are getting those compound interest. You are making money while you sleep with your residual income and your passive income. Great job, great job. All right. Great job. So, ladies and gentlemen, our new community chair is none other than Miss Kennedy Jones. Give it up for Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. Great job, great job. Now, we actually have our event chair. And with the event chair, coordinator responsibilities, they oversee the entire event and planning process for the Stewart Foundation. They appoint and encourage members to chair the various committees. They shall receive and provide receipts for monies payable to the Stewart Foundation for various financial sources. They provide ongoing motivation and committee chairs, ensuring that the work is progressing and enthusiasm is high. Ensures that communication between committee chairs is active, productive, and positive, and coordinates ongoing committee meetings and fosters an environment that encourages creativity and the development of new and exciting ideas. And they orchestrate all events to ensure all details are addressed, particularly the annual Youth White Linen. The floor is now open for event chair. Are there any? Ooh, I see you now. Did I see your hand first, Nick? And you nominate? Okay. Carter Snowdy. And did I see your hand, Michael? And Matthew Craig. And I got you, Carter. And any nominations here? And Callie? Callie Norwood nominates herself. Okay. Any other nominations for event chair? The floor is now closed for event chair. We will go in alphabetical order. We shall first hear from Mr. Matthew Craig.
Good afternoon. Hello, I'm Matthew Craig, and I am a sophomore, and I am a student at Pebblebrook High School for their magnet program, the CCC EPA, as a technical theater student. Some of you might remember that I ran for this position last year, and although I didn't win, the thing is, I learned. When the events rolled around, and I chose, most of the time, I would hope to choose, and I aim to choose, not to just sit on the sideline, but get involved. I grabbed the aux cord, helped with the music, and made sure our events actually had the energy that we wanted. I hopped behind the soundboards and the light consoles and used my technical theater background to make sure our events looked great, sounded great, and ran smoothly. I didn't do all that because I wanted a title or I had a title. I did that because I genuinely care about making our time together at the Stewart Foundation memorable. I lead with patience and compassion, and as your event coordinator, Chair, that means two things. I will listen to you. I want to coordinate events that you want to go to, not just what looks good on paper. I will handle the stress behind the scenes, including event planning, including the things that you don't feel like doing. I want to plan the chaotic things, but my experience with running sound and lights will help me get through under pressure and get what needed and what is needed to be done. I know how to stay calm and solve problems and conflicts, hopefully with a smile. I've already proven that I'm dedicated to making our events amazing, title or no title. And imagine what we can do if we make it official. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And next we have Ms. Callie Norwood.
Hi, everyone. My name is Callie Norwood. I am 8 years old. I go to Northside Elementary, and I am the proud big sister to 3 amazing little sisters. The Stewart Foundation is special to me because my mom grew up here, and now I get to grow up here, too. As a STAR student, I know how to work hard, listen well, and stay organized. As your event coordinator, Chair, I promise to bring big energy, listen to all of your creative ideas, and help every single event, especially our youth white linen. Fun, exciting, and unforgettable for everyone ages 8 to 18. Vote Callie Norwood for Event Coordinator Chair. Let's make amazing memories.
Thank you, Callie. Next, we have Mr. Carter Snowdy. Come on, Carter.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carter Snowdy, and I'm running for event chair because I want to make events that are exciting and that people want to go to without also not being left out, and also remembering that they have learned something important and also not forgetting what they were learning. And that is why I, Carter Snowdy, is running for event chair.
Great. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Carter. So we now have Mr. Matthew Craig, Callie Norwood, and Carter Snowdy. Please cast your ballots. There was an incredible quote that Mo and Michael share of 360 Abundance Foundation that I thought was, really, really awesome. And I am going to ask you all to utilize your fill in the blank skills on this one. And the quote said, there are two blanks. There are two blanks. You don't transfer blank. You transfer the blank required to keep it. You don't transfer blank. What are those two blanks, Michael? Oh my goodness, he is such a show. We love it. Oh my goodness, we love it. You are absolutely right, Michael. You make me smile because you are getting this knowledge. This knowledge is rich. It is deep. It is going to take you places. And my, oh, the places we will go with knowledge. Remember the essence of wisdom. It is the application of that knowledge. Don't let the knowledge that sit there. Do something with it. Apply it every single day. When you wake up in the morning, you should have written your things to do list because you are shooting for something. You've got a vision in place. You've put your plan in place. And as you put that plan in place, live on purpose every single day, accomplishing it. You shall accomplish it by eating that elephant one bite at a time. And young people, we are dependent on you, or we are investing in you for you to make all of our futures greater. So I love that you all did such a remarkable job with it. Such a remarkable job with that. So as we continue to look at some of these valuable lessons that we got from the 360 Abundance, I am going to take you all back to a place, and I want you to see just how remarkable the work that you have done as a youth cabinet, the lessons that you've actually learned. And this is one that's kind of out of the box, but I want to ask you, what was the theme of this year's Youth White Linen? What was the, Olivia? Yes, good job, Olivia. Got a card for you. I've got a card for you. As we go through, we've got a lot of things. September is going to be very, very busy for us. Has anyone ever been to the Atlanta Ballet? Anybody ever been to the Atlanta Ballet? Atlanta Ballet? Would anyone like to go to the Atlanta Ballet? If you didn't have to pay a dime, a red cent, would you like to go to the Atlanta Ballet? Guess what? On September the 18th, because you are part of the Stewart Foundation, the evening of September 18th, we can get you into the Atlanta Ballet free. Would you all like that? Yes, absolutely. Everybody in here gets to go to the Atlanta Ballet on Friday, September the 18th. That's what we do here at the Stewart Foundation, all right? Okay, now if I could get the candidates of the event chair to please join me up front. Come on up. Matthew Craig, Callie Norwood, and Carter Snowdy. Wow. You know, it's something to put yourself out there, right? That says a whole lot about you as a person, to put yourself out there, and it means a lot. So as we unveil our event chair, here we go. There are our candidates. All right, let us go and do that, Ms. Aquila. Our 2026-2027 event chair is... And know that all of you all would have been great event chairs in any of the other roles that our babies put themselves out there for. And just remember, if you don't get this, you still get to work on the committee, right? You get to work on the committee. Make sure you still come back every single workshop because it's crucial. Because remember what we said about success? Success is when opportunity and preparation meet. You can do it. It is all good. It is all good. Almost there. So our winner, oh my goodness. We've got a two-way tie with Matthew Craig and Carter Snowdy. Wow. So I am going to simply have to do it again. I am going to, but we can do the vote because we don't have the 2 divide, because there's a 3 divide, then we can recast. So at this time, hey, Callie, come over here, sweetheart. All right, so have a seat, Callie. Good job, Callie. Good job. So now we have, because we have that tie and we do have a vote split because of the votes that Callie did, we are going to then reissue ballots for the event chair. And now we will have Matthew Craig and Carter Snowdy that we are casting votes for the event chair. So you are to cast your vote for either Matthew Craig or Carter Snowdy. Cast your vote for either Matthew Craig or Carter Snowdy. I know you're smart. So as we cast those, so we're super excited about the Atlanta Ballet. So if you're affiliated with Stewart Foundation, we're going to get you in the Atlanta Ballet free of charge. Does anybody like the Atlanta Zoo? Anyone like the Atlanta Zoo? You know, it's kind of pricey over there, isn't it? It is. It is. But because you are a member of the Stewart Foundation, we're going to get you to the Atlanta Zoo as well in September free of charge. How about that? How about that? Yes, what was that, Michael? Now, the special thing about the Atlanta Zoo, there is a day that we could go, but with this particular one, I'm able to get you all the ticket, and you don't have to go that day, but you have to go within the month, something to that nature, right? But I want you to look out. I want you to make sure we've got your email address because we're going to be sending this information out, and I want you to sign up because I'm able to get bulk tickets, okay? So make sure that you're getting emails from the Stewart Foundation. And if you're not, stop by registration. Make sure we have your right email address so that we can get that to you, okay? Does anyone like Disney on Ice? How do you feel about Disney on Ice? Anybody feel about, I love Disney on Ice, right? Anyway, we're going to do, how about we're going to do Disney on Ice in September? You all want to kick it with us for Disney on Ice? And because you are a Stewart Foundation family, you get Disney on Ice free. How about that? Yes, we're going to make it do what it does. We are going to make it happen. We are making it happen. We are making it do what it does. And we love knowledge, don't we? We need to understand our history. We need to know where we've been so we know where we're going. And guess where we are also going in September on the day after inauguration? How do you all feel about the Civil Human Rights Museum, all on the Stewart Foundation? What do y'all think about that? Anybody want to join us at the Civil Human Rights Museum? Of course, the cabinet is going to be there. They're going to be draped in their T-shirt because we're going to lift them away for leadership training. But for the rest of the family, if it is your desire to go with us to the Civil Human Rights Museum, you don't have to pay. we got you. Hey, body, right? Body. So we're going to do that, and we are actually going to do another one. And you hold your horses for that, and I'll let you know when we come back. All right, we've cast those votes. Have we cast those votes? Whew. All right, gentlemen, stand to your feet, and let us understand who our next event chair is. Wow, congratulations, Mr. Matthew Craig, for you are our 2026-2027 event coordinator. Oh boy, we're almost there, look at there, how about that? Now, for our final role, this particular role is crucial because it's the heartthrob of who we are, what we do, right? And it is our membership chair. And our membership chair maintains the master membership list in a spreadsheet program, maintains an address book for all vehicles communication, keeps membership applications, sends a welcome letter to all new members, sends correspondence to members that miss a meeting, order badges for new members, sends a congratulations letter and membership application to the new members, manages new members registration process during each Stewart Foundation monthly meeting. They will begin to work with registration as well, and Ms. Margie Preston, as active and new members registrar during each Stewart Foundation monthly meeting, sends a list of new members to secretary and treasurer. That is our members chair responsibility. And I do see a hand raised, so what is that nomination for President Nicholas Hornbuckle? And Carter, do you accept that nomination? And Carter says yes. Carter says yes. Any other nominations? I do recognize Mr. Michael Davis. And Olivia, do you accept? No, Olivia. Okay, Olivia did not accept. And Mr. Matthew Craig? And Matthew nominates Chloe Detweiler. Yes, and Chloe does. Any other nominations from the floor? Any other nominations for membership chair? With none being seen, it is now closed. And of course, we begin it in alphabetical order. So please come to the floor, Ms. Chloe Detweiler.
Hello, I'm Chloe Detweiler, and I'm running for membership chair. As membership chair, I would welcome new members, help manage registration, and keep membership information organized. I believe I can serve effectively because I am friendly, organized, and helpful. I will work to make every member feel welcomed, included, and valued. Vote for me.
All right, and now Mr. Carter Snowdy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carter Snowdy, and I'm from Herman J. Russell Middle School. And like my brother and my cousin, I was also born into the Stewart Foundation. And this is why I'm running for membership chair. I'm running for membership chair because I want to make everybody feel welcomed, and every new members feel like they want to come here more. And I promise that I will make everybody that comes in and out of the Stewart Foundation feel welcome and included. And that is why I'm running for membership chair.
Mr. Carter Snowdy. please cast your votes for our membership chair position, either Ms. Chloe Detweiler or Mr. Carter Snowdy. Anybody ever heard of the Monster Jam? Anybody know about the Monster Jam? Yeah, how many have been to Monster Jam? All right, guess what? In September, you could do it with the Stewart Foundation. You don't have to pay because we got you. We got you. That is on September 11th. That is on September 11th. We all are going to Monster Jam, right? Yeah, baby, it is going to be a month to remember with the Stewart Foundation. We are taking care of all of our members who desire to actually do this with us. And how about the Southern Belle Farms? Anybody ever been out to Southern Belle Farms? Anybody been out? How about on the 20th of September, we're doing Southern Belle Farms. It is going to be a good deeds month. It is a good deeds month, right? All month long, all of these places that I've mentioned to you all, because you all are a Stewart Foundation family, and you normally have to pay for this. With us, no, no, no. I like that, Michael. What? That right there, baby. That right there. No, no, no. It is by a strong relationship that we have with an organization by them. Remember that this is our health and financial wellness quarter. We have a strong relationship with ViStar. And ViStar has this Good Deeds program, and we, the Stewart Foundation, have first dibs on the tickets to all of those places. It is relationships, right? It is relationships that this financial institution wants to come out and support us. So we're hanging out all month long. You guys ready for this? We're hanging out all month long. And our communications director, stand up, Misa. Stand up, Misa. Misa, you see, may not be, you will feel her presence because she sends out all of our communications. When you're registered to come to the events, all of that is coming from Misa. Anything that we need to send out, she is the woman behind it all. So you want to make sure you get all the good stuff and all this good stuff that I just talked about all month long in September. Misa. But what I advise you to do, don't harass her right away for it because I have not given it to her yet. So start to look for it as of August the 22nd is when we will actually publish all of these events for September. So you guys got it? So please don't harass Misa until after August the 27th. If you haven't seen it, then you say, Miss Misa, where's my stuff? I need to get up in there because I got to go to the farm, right? I got to make this on ice. I've got to hit the Atlanta Ballet, right? If you're a Stewart Foundation family member, you get to go. So give Miss Misa a big round of applause. She doesn't always get the notoriety that she has, but she keeps us grounded. She keeps us up and rolling. All right. For our very, very last row, for the day. Ooh, that's some hard work. My. Come on up here for our candidates for membership. Come back up here, babies. I need to see Carter and I need to see Chloe. You all come right on up front. It is all good. Remember, it is all good because we all are all good. We're in this together, right? So, our 2026-2027 membership chair is it's Jason. Always working, right? Always working. It's okay, because the best is yet to come. Yeah. Yes. Timing is of the essence. My mama always say, keep on living, baby. Just keep on living. You'll see it by and by. All right, here we go. And we all are winners. And the beautiful thing about winners never quit and quitters never win. We keep going, because we know breakthrough is going to happen. We won't give up, will we? Breakthrough is going to happen. It is all good. And sometimes, we as adults, we know sometimes a door will close for us because God's got a bigger door for us, right? It happens. We don't understand it when it does, but for real, we'll see it. So parents, volunteers, please make sure we congratulate all our babies and then congratulate those who put themselves out there and encourage them. And the winner is Chloe Detweiler. Oh, great. So it's okay, Carter. Oh, my goodness. My. So we have come to this place of recognizing and nominating and electing all of our members, our officers for our 2026, 2027 youth officers. I would like to ask that our president, Mr. Nicholas Hornbuckle, please come to the front. Our VPs, Mr. Cameron Snooty and Josiah Davis. Take front and center, Mr. President. Snooty. And for our secretary, Ms. Kyla Detweiler. Come on up here, Kyla. Our treasurer, Mr. Michael Davis. Come on up there, Michael. Our parliamentarian, Ms. Ansley Flynn. Our communications chair, Ms. Bethany Hanley. Our community chair, Ms. Kennedy Jones. Our event chair, Mr. Matthew Craig. And our membership chair, Ms. Chloe Detweiler. Mr. Quilla is pulling up the final slide. So there are some things, Hornbuckle administration, that we need. We need to make sure we get headshots of each of you. That's really, really important. There is an assessment, a grandparent assessment, that I do need for you all to complete. I need to make sure I have each of your numbers. I'm going to send it to you, and I want you to send it back to me. I need to have it before end of business on Sunday, okay? So I'm pretty sure I've got, I need to make sure I've got you two. I need to make sure I have your numbers locked in. I think you have your own phone, Matthew? Okay, so I need to get your number. So you'll get that from me to complete. We need your measurements. Measurements are absolutely key. So we're going to take one nice picture, right? And as soon as Ms. Quilla pulls up the back end screen with all of you listed there as the 2026 cabinet, We're going to get that up, and then we're going to take our photo, and then we're going to do headshots. We're going to get measurements, and then you're going to make sure that Miss Gwen actually has. Okay, babe. All right. And hold on. Okay, look this way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile, 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 y'all. Look this way, hon. Okay. Thank you. All right. June and Aquila, you want to get in? And Monica? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. One more for Jesse. You got it? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you for hanging in there. We love you all so much. So if you all can help us put the room back together, we got a lot of cleanup to do. We want to put everything back the way we found it. We want to give a resounding big round of applause for Southwest DeKalb Senior Center. They were so great to us. And please, all of our officers need to stay up front. Everyone else will do everything else. All the officers stay up front. Remember, we've got to get your headshot. We've got to get your measurements. So please make sure you stay up front. That is crucial that we get these headshots. It's crucial that we get your measurements. And it is crucial that we have all of your contact information. Office one day, aren't you? You want to come and hang out with us and run for office one day? Yeah, I think you should. The fans blowing my eyes.
I'm gonna try to come on the weekend.
You come on the weekend. You gotta come and see me. We're gonna run for office one day. Yeah, he comes back to run for office. That's right. I said. Testing 1, 2. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you all to give it up for LaShawn Atwater. She and Lauren Sanford, they're here on behalf of Commissioner Nicole Messiah, and LaShawn has a couple of words she want to share with you.
Good afternoon. Again, that's on behalf of Commissioner Nicole Messiah. We're honored to always partner and work with the Stewart Foundation. Again, congratulations to all of the new officers coming in. We're expecting great things from you, as we've always seen. Again, thank you all for coming out, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you to Miss Charlotte and to Florence for the South DeKalb Senior Center, allowing us to be able to host this event here today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Hey, Kaden. Hey, thank you, darling.
Look at how many snacks I got.
You got you some snacks. I'm hungry. I want some snacks. You get me some snacks, Kaden? Oh, my God. Oh, he's so sweet. I don't need them muffins. They're too much for my belly. Hey there, Jay. Oh, I'm so glad to